Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1968 Olivetti Lettera 32 vintage ultra portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. This one was made in Spain, but the Olivetti brand was based in Italy, and these were mostly made in Italy, but they also had a plant in Spain, and the only difference between the two is that this one has a greener color shell and the Italy version has a more bluish green color. One of the best typewriters of all time, in excellent condition, and it has unique font, so stick around to see that when I get to that section. Up top are your margins. This is your left margin. I'm going to set that on 0, and the left one about 70, and this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. This is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers and a scale. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on double, but that's actually 3 half spaces, and when you have it on 3, it's 4 half spaces. When you have it on 2, it's 3, and when you have it on 1, it's 2 half spaces. I have it on 2 right now because of the unique font, so I'm just going to keep that on 3 half spaces. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line and switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side. Flip that down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it in the middle on the white indicator, it prints no ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. Very light touch, probably the lightest touch of all time. And surprise, surprise, we have cursive script, typeface, beautiful print. Pretty rare, especially with the Olivetti. I think this is the first one I've had with an Olivetti, but it's really pretty. And the typewriter all around is in excellent condition. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip that towards you, so you can pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to flip this down for now and put the color back on black. So the reason why I skipped 1.5 lines is because by nature script on typewriters is a little bit taller. So sometimes it just looks a little bit too bunched up, especially if you're using the capital letters, they get a little too close to the top. So I just had it on 1.5, just looks a little bit better. But single still works really good. It's just it looks a little bit more elegant than 1.5. Shift on each side, a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This blank space key is not supposed to be the 1. It actually does have a 1 key on this, probably because of the script typeface. Most of them don't have a 1 key. The 1 key traditionally on typewriters is a lowercase l, and the exclamation point is a shift 8, backspace, and period underneath. So this key is your margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release. It does allow you to type past that all the way to the end. Very good. Backspace on the right side, very smooth. The red key is the tab key. Right now we have tabs set on 10 space intervals, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear each one of those by hitting this lever to the left of your margin release down. It's super light, you barely have to push it down to get it to activate. So now we should have all those tabs clear. So when I hit the tab button, it doesn't stop anywhere, but I always like to set one somewhere in the middle so that way when you hit the tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. So I'm just going to flip that up to set that tab right there. So down to clear, up to set, and if you have a Lettera 22, it's the opposite, which is the precursor to the 32. All right, that's it for the keyboard. Open the hood from the front like this. Be very careful when you're trying to open the hood because these two hooks, the whole thing's made out of cast irons. It's really strong and durable, but if you try to force it, they do break like glass. First thing we want to go for is the touch control. This is one of the more important things when you're dealing with the 32 because it's so light on the touch that a lot of people might not like it at all, and because they can't find the touch control, they didn't know it has it or they just didn't ever use it. This will increase the tension when you hit the key so it's not as light. So I typically have it in the middle, even though I do like a light touch. This is just super duper light. It feels like a keyboard on a laptop. It's super modern feel to it, even though it's, you know, 60 years old or whatever. It still feels like a brand new, like it was made in 2026. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right if you want to switch that direction manually. The side you want it to go to, you just flip the ribbon guide behind either side of the spool towards the middle, and that's meant to catch the eyelet at the end of the ribbon. And I think it actually will swap without the eyelets just by getting to the end. It'll pull. But if it doesn't work like that, then you can just tie a knot about 6 inches from the end, and that should catch it. And that's how it works on most typewriters. So we're just going to put the hooks in first in the back like that, and then we're going to snap it down on the front. Carriage release on both sides, but I accidentally triggered the carriage lock when I put the top on and off. But carriage release, very smooth, light, and like a luxury machine in an ultra portable package. They did more with less somehow with this. Absolutely brilliant engineering. So when you flip this down, it will lock the carriage when you move it to the middle. So this is a very flimsy carriage lock. I wouldn't recommend using it for shipments, only if you're casually carrying it in the case, because um, once you lock it, you see how flimsy, I don't know if you can see how flimsy that is, but I get complaints all the time about these. If it has a little slight bend, it will not work properly. You can bend it back, but it's not a very outstanding carriage lock. So just a little heads up on that. I'll put this back on. Better to put this on from the front so you can line that up like that. Okay, so carriage release on each side. Super smooth. And this button here on the end of the left knob disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go. You get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is half a space. Same concept. If you move the line space selector all the way back to 0, disables the spacing. And if you move it in the middle between 0 and 1, it'll skip a half a space instead of 2 half spaces when you have it on the 1. So it gives you that option for whatever reason. I don't know if I'd ever use that. Maybe for just getting in between the lines easily without having to lose your lines completely. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.